Alright, this is the lesson on the song called Why by Jelly Roll Morton, and it's more in the version of Leon Redbone, so it's much slower than the original version of Jelly Roll Morton. I'll play the first part slowly. Okay, and then we have a second part, but we'll do that later. Now it's in the key of C, and in the first measure I'm playing simply a chord and some triplets. And I do that with the temp. And here I do that in the second bar, well, the third bar, that G on the third fret, 6th string, with the temp. That's the easiest thing. In that case, because if you move this finger, the sound will be broken a bit. It helps the continuity. And then we go to an E7. The ring finger and the middle finger up. We have an A minor 7 chord, partial chord. And here the bass is, well, a bit of broken, but it works, but you have to keep the timing. Tricky there, so we'll play that measure again, measure 7. So this is on the start of the last beat. You just slide down, and the third fret, 2nd string and 4th string have to ring. Note the little muting by placing the fingers on the first 2 strings. F chord. Play that with a temp here. And a 7 chord. Simply move third finger and 2nd finger to the 6th fret for well, it's a kind of A minor chord idea. I forgot the name. And then we have a B9 chord, and well, I take it like this, but you could play it like this or this. This is the simple. It's like a B7 moved up, and the 5th string, 5th fret, 2nd string added. And then I move the pinky to the 1st string. G sharp 13. Hit. So once more. with that hit. da, da. And in that 16th measure we have a double bass. The song has a lot of those little well, bass runs, triplets, and anticipating the bass and accenting. Well, you can hear that on the recording as well. So we were at the end of the first part, and then we played all over again. And when we are at the G7, at the A7, go to a D9, which is it looks like the bottom looks like a D minor moved up, and bass string, the 5th string added. And to the G7. In those last 2 bars I do all kinds of things with the positions that are in the tab, but not necessarily with those bass strings. I might add a triplet or accent some bass a little bit more. Like here, instead of I do Okay, now I'll do it one more time, but with the vocals, and I don't think too loud, so you can hear where the words fit. Why won't you kindly tell me why you always leave me high and dry? Are you so captivating? Why are you so aggravating? And oh me, must I keep on waiting patiently? You know there's lots of kissing when missing. I would like to hear you say the words that you once whispered. Oh, why don't you tell me why? So that's the part with the words. And now let's do the solo. The solo is the basic arrangement, but with some variations in it. So here it goes. Here the accenting is really important to give it some character. Okay, now first measure is about the same as in the complement, but you can accent the first note of each triplet and hold it a little longer, so it's not really a triplet then, but it's the best way to write it down that way. And then we slide it slowly and hang in there. So when that E7, we do an arpeggio, and then we hit down with our nails. And mute it a little bit, because otherwise it becomes too loud. Note a little mute by damping, by killing the sound of the strings by placing index and middle finger on the strings you just picked, which is the 6th and 7th fret on the 2nd and 3rd string. Here the same. So we have that. And then we have a triplet and a slide down. And we have the C9 chord. And I play it like this, with the index on the 4th string, 5th string, and then the 3rd finger is flat out, because then you have the free pinky to play the 5th fret. And I'm playing it more like an arpeggio. And here we breaking the rhythm a bit, sort of not double time, but okay, one more time. We do that not pinched together as in the tap, but that's why there's a little broken line before the notes. And here, instead of, you can play twice the bass on the 4th fret. That's in the 31st measure. And here also, this is what this song is called. Well, it's played a bit in parlando style, so you can, let's say, fool around with the rhythm a bit. In the vocalized verse, I slow down here. And here, instead of what in the tap is 9/8, I do a little hammer on and pull off. So. Again, I did something different as in the tap, but with the positions. I'll play it now as it is tapped out, that bars 36 and 37. And also the end tag is rather freely. In a tap is what I played, which is close close, but not exactly as it is tapped out. And that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's which, well, they call this artificial harmonics. You know that we have harmonics at the 12th fret. So if you fret a chord, and like that C9, that mostly is at the 3rd fret, except the 4th string. So 12 frets higher, we have that harmonic. So if you place the side of your hand at that height, 12 frets higher, and you should not see at your palm, because you cannot really decide whether it's exactly 12 frets higher or not, but look at your picking finger and where it is, where you make the sounds, which is at the 9th fret in my case. Your hand may be longer or smaller, so it may differ, or the length of your thumb pick. But that's an indication to be. And the trick is, well, the beautiful of it, if it works, is playing the first 3 strings, the bass strings open, fretted, not muted, and then the palm goes down, and when you hit the last 3 strings, you have the harmonics. So that's it for Why. A great song. Don't play it too fast. Well, you can play it fast, but I think it's more fun, play it slow. Have fun with it.